solution to doing away with that is us. It's
Yeah.
me and you not consuming these things.
Same with like I don't use anything with palm oil and anything from palm.
I never heard of that.
Well, you're killing, habitats of animals and endangered species, and these animals are gonna die, and have no way to survive without human interaction.
Really?
Yeah,
Palm
like
oil.
pandas, yeah. Oh yeah, killing all of their habitats. I mean, I've been crazy about this stuff. I love animals. I always have. I wanted to be a zookeeper at one point in my life, and I was like, I have to know all these facts.
Well, with the fluffs on your hat, you look a little panda-esque at the moment.
Yeah. Thank you.
But I'm just glad that we have the ability to, here in the US, the main thing that I've noticed is we have the ability to be us. There's a lot of outcry every year about some trod on minority, but when you really put it under the lens of a global freedom, we are the most free country that I've experienced, and
Yeah.
it is.
Hopefully we stay
There's
that
no
way.
comparison, and hopefully it stays that way. And I think we're to the point where we've gotten past the "I'm gonna blow you up" stage in humanity. I really think we have. I hope we have, for goodness
Yeah.
sake. But I think we are onto the point where we realize that tearing each other's nations down is not helping anyone,
Mm-mm.
and that by actually working with each other and being vulnerable and allowing other countries and other cultures to flourish and help them, it's actually going to help me as well.
And evolve
Mm-hmm.
as humans.
That's the goal. What do you think the purpose of life is? I'm going to just jump in right there.
Wow. Love. I think the purpose of life is love, and figuring out how to feel love and give love. I think that that's what life's about. I'm such a hippie for saying that, but
I think you're right.
I think it's love.
If that's a hippie thing to do, then the hippies were right. But I don't think it's necessarily a hippie thing, because any culture you go back to, it may be called something different, maybe called charity or maybe called peace.
It's
but
all love.
It is. It's being able to
Same caring for people, all those things. It's love.
And I would say that trust is intertwined in that. And that's the hard part about language, is I say one word and 1,000 people hear a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And having been able to learn different languages, you very quickly realize that there's no good translation for anything. A simple sentence, a simple phrase that seems very benign, if translated into another language, they're just, you miss the meaning.
Yeah.
And no wonder we have xenophobia, this fear of other countries and other cultures. The second that we don't recognize something, it's unknown, and that's what we fear most as humans. Mm-hmm. And rightly so. Back in the day when we were monkeys just, trotting around, we would fear anything that wasn't us, because if it wasn't us, it was probably going to try and eat us. Mm-hmm. Either that or was some berry that was going to poison us. So, I mean, there's good reason why us humans are as stupid as we are and don't trust each other. It's because we've given each other reason not to trust each other. But the important thing is that we've never been as powerful as we have been right now. Mm-hmm. We've been the dominant species for millennia now. We've done something that no other species has even come close to. And we have to use that power for good, meaning we've got to be these strong people and be able to allow others, including us humans, to be able to step up to the plate and better themselves instead of just trying to get on top. Because by doing that, we are stepping on other people. It's a situation that I've thought through a lot in economics. There's the idea of self-interest. Mm-hmm. And if I always do what's best for me and you always do what's best for you, then we're all going to be fine because you're taking care of you, I'm taking care of me.
Yeah.
And there's some truth to that, but that's only part of the truth. And what I've seen from a little bit more advanced economics is there's an idea that if I don't do what's necessarily best for me, how do I put this? There's a scene in a movie. Have you ever seen A Beautiful Mind?
Yeah, of course.
So it's Russell Crowe, and he's got paranoid schizophrenia, and he's sitting in a bar. And I think there's 5 women that walk in, and there's 5 guys there. And there's this one blonde girl that stands up and is way prettier than the rest of them, and all of them want that girl. And so he imagines this scenario where every guy goes for the blonde girl, and all of them leave home alone. But a different scenario is all of them go for anyone but the blonde girl.
And they all leave with someone.
And they all leave with someone. So it's the idea that the most self-interested thing to do isn't always the thing that seems most self-interested in. The most self-interested thing to do was to go for the brunette girls because that was the better outcome. It's being able to see past that initial urge, that initial knee-jerk reaction to try to get what I want, but stopping, having some patience, thinking about the bigger picture and realizing, you know what? Yes, I want America to be great and I want this to be the greatest nation on earth, but maybe instead of taking advantage of other countries to make myself better, maybe I would actually be better off than I ever could be if I assisted those countries. And I know nothing about politics, and I know a lot of people were pissed off when in these COVID relief packages, we sent millions and millions of dollars to other countries. But I think of that scenario when I see those things. I don't know enough about why those dollars are going there and what they're used for.
That's a good way to think of it.
But at the end of the day, we are filthy rich compared to 90% of the world. There's a few nations out there that probably have a higher GDP per capita, but good grief, if we can do something to help others, because at the end of the day, that's only going to help us.
Yeah.
If we don't have these war-ridden countries over there, they're going to be able to start producing, and there's going to be that one little genius guy that doesn't get blown up by a bomb that ends up solving world hunger or that ends up solving the energy crisis. So that's just my hippie thought.